Hello and welcome. My name is Marcel Vollmer. I'm the Chief Digital Officer of SAP Ariba. It's a great pleasure being here to talk a little bit about social supply chain. So probably all of you have heard about corporate social responsibility and how important social enterprises are. Basically, today is the day that I want to bridge a little bit about the disruptive trends in technology, what we see, and how does it link to supply chain. Procurement is part of that, but also finance. I want to end this by basically then giving some recommendations what's currently happening in the supply chain as well as in the procurement business based on the feedback what I, in my role, get from customers, from executives in that field. So let me start probably a little bit by the digital trends and disruptive trends in technology, what we see as of today. Basically, I think all of you have heard the buzzwords artificial intelligence, blockchain, machine learning, robotics, and so on. I could now continue this list for a while, but I think it does not really add a lot of value. And honestly, a lot of people getting tired for a good reason by just listening to the buzzwords, but what does it really mean? In the meantime, everyone has heard them, probably 100 times, but our job is now to think a little bit about how can we bring this and translate this into the business side and how you really can do something with it. So basically talking about a use case. So when we look a little bit into the area of the current intelligence which is coming up, and I couldn't agree more on what a lot of executives, including Bill McDermott, is saying about that artificial intelligence might be as important as electricity or the steam power to transform the world. That's definitely something what is true, and it will impact basically all of the business functions. What we really see, what's happening right now with connected devices, we have much different opportunities today to really get information, get data we have not gotten before. The other element is data is a very good topic on that, and I know big data, everyone has data, everyone talks about data, and data might be the new fuel, substituting oil, what it was before in the industrial revolution before, but a lot of people don't know how to access the data and what really to do with the data. And today we have now the technology where we really get the transparency, the insights, and that we can also get meaningful information out of that. I really like drawing a little bit the picture on the data side, starting with the empirical side, the descriptive data. That's a starting point, just having data. The second topic is then getting information out of it, the predictive analytics, the data what we can use basically to give a prediction. But finally, what really counts is prescriptive guidance we can give to people. And this is to frame a little bit on how I see the data topic. This will be enhanced in the future with cognitive insights and artificial intelligence. Cognitive computing is just basically another term for artificial intelligence, depending on how you want to see it. So why do I start with data, with artificial intelligence, and some of the buzzwords what I have used? The reason for that is fairly simple. First of all, we see multi-billion-dollar business models getting created every day. So I think everyone has heard about that. Apple, the first 1 trillion market capitalization company in the world. Amazon joined for a short period of time, but pretty sure they will continue their way. And when you look a little bit about what are these companies about, I think you will figure out, wow, they have great products. I think everyone has seen a smartphone. Everyone knows how transformational the smartphone was. Not sure how you are using it. I can tell you I use it more or less day and night because it is really managing my day, my life, because I use it for private as well as for business purpose. And the interesting thing is about it's not only a great product, look a little bit about how this product gets created. So there's on the one side the innovation, creating a multi-billion-dollar market, more than 1.5 billion iPhones have been sold already. This has created a business model on iTunes with more than 100 billion. So basically money for the people developing the apps. The other interesting insight in that is, and let me come back to the supply chain topic, when we talk about a social supply chain, basically you want to know and understand that you have full transparency and visibility about what is going into your product. To do that, you need, and that's the reason why I started with the data, you need to get the data, the transparency, and you want also to know who are the suppliers you are doing business with. A lot of companies don't know what is my tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3 supplier. When you talk in other industries, for example, and I can mention retail as a great example on that, you need to have full transparency until the level where you know from which field did you get the palm oil, what you're using in your product cycle. This means you have much different requirements today on your supply chain. You need really to be able to track and trace every single step of the production, because otherwise you are not able to say that this is a sustainable product. And to do that, you need to run your suppliers in a way that you basically decide carefully who are the suppliers you want to do business with. Are these suppliers also you are using where you know they have the same standards in place like you would like to see? On sustainability, on corporate social responsibility, for example. I'm pretty sure that everyone agrees you don't want to have child labor in any of your products, and we have seen that. Apple for that is also an example where we have seen that Foxconn was using they had one case of children involved in the supply chain, in the production process, which is really something you wanna avoid. And to do that, you need to ensure that you really get full transparency, full insights on all of your suppliers. You need also to ensure that you continue to measure it, that you certify them, and that you also get data about the quality, the performance, what they deliver. So to do that, you need to have the right insights in your spend visibility, in the data, the supplier data, as well as also in the risk, what is attached to a product. Because having only one supplier might be very risky. We have seen this, what can happen. And Volkswagen, a German car producer, is a good example on that. One supplier was not delivering the seat covers. What happened? Entire production went down. It was August 1 year back, where basically 25,000 people could not continue their jobs because of one product missing in the supply chain. So therefore, it is very important that you have the right strategy in place to really understand the suppliers, and also have a mitigation and a second supplier for critical goods and components to ensure that you can deliver everything what is needed for your supply chain. So you have full visibility into the provenance of every single good what you're using. You can also extend this to the services side. And at the end, basically, you can really ensure that what you promise to your customers, that you can say, yes, this is based really on data, and I can use the data for each single step. And by the way, think about the automation and think about the power, what you have. Take Nokia as an example, a market leader in mobile phones. So they could not survive. Look at other companies like BlackBerry, Kodak. They innovated the digital camera in 1975. Unfortunately, in 2012, they were running out of business because just having the innovation is not really what keeps you going over the entire time. So therefore, it is also very important that you think about the innovation component and how to drive that. We could extend that by a lot of products where innovation is absolutely key. What is really important here is that when you have the supply chain and when you really have an end-to-end picture on that, you are not doing that only for the purpose of your company because you like it, or basically it is just something what help you to become in certain elements better. These are components. They are also very important. But basically, the visibility in your supply chain has one very clear reason why you need it. And The reason is your customers demanding it. Basically, people like you, like me, and a lot of other people, they care about the goods. They care about where does my coffee come from, my tea, my cacao, where are other products come from, probably a little bit more complex, and is it really also fitting to where I believe that this is the right standard and this is really what is important for me, what is important for the world, and basically for all of us, because we only have one planet here, and we need to ensure that the criteria we define and what we want to really do as a business, that this is in sync with the global world. So let me wrap up and by saying that I hope I could give a little bit some insights about the supply chain overall, how to use certain technologies and really make use cases out of it and not just continuing using the buzzwords, and also how to define your strategic direction you want to go for, the criteria you want to make applicable and mandatory for all suppliers and all business partners you are dealing with. And I like the term business partners much more because we are partnering to be successful. It is not just a buyer-supplier relationship where the one has the power and the other needs to deliver. I think that this is changing, and thanks to the technology, it can change really now, and we can define the business, how we want to do this and how we want to go forward. So social supply chain, this is definitely the future and will definitely be very important. So I hope you implement it and also that you get access to the right data, to the right information, and of course, think about the process, think about the systems you need to make it happen, because it needs to become reality, otherwise it will not work. I hope it was insightful and I hope you enjoy the rest of the unit. It was a great pleasure being here. Thank you very much and goodbye.